So, you want to do a classic Victoria's Secret makeup look a la about 2008 when it was all bright and shimmery with those baby pinky peachy lips? That's a makeup look. I can help with that. I'm starting with the Milk Makeup Hydro Grip and Glow primer. This is going to add a lovely radiance beneath the foundation while prolonging the longevity of the look. Being that I'm quite fair-skinned and I can't pull off the amount of bronzer that some of these angels are wearing on the runway, starting off the look with like a golden radiance helps tone adjust the base to be reminiscent of those looks. I'm going in with kind of a radiant foundation. This is the Revlon Illuminant Skin Caring Foundation. I like to start off with my hands. This is the only foundation I've found that rivals my NARS Light Reflecting. If you want to get a flawless base, start with your hands and then go in and blend once your initial layer has been put down. Pressing that in with a sponge, correcting under my eyes with the same corrector trio. I just use this shade. You can see how deep my dent is in it. It's the perfect shade for fair skin. The way that I was taught makeup, you shouldn't see the corrector on the skin when you were done. It should kind of return the palette to neutral, so you're not seeing peach. It just looks like I don't have any discoloration under my eyes. So my base technique involves going in with a lighter concealer with a radiant finish, just where I need general perfecting, and then going in with a more intense concealer in my problem areas. This is the MAC Studio Radiance. I got it like a week or two ago, and it's all I've been using at this step. See, this base looks gorgeous, but it's actually so radiant that it's bouncing light off of my tear trails, and I think going in with something a little bit more matte, like the Huda Beauty concealer, and focusing it just right there, really helps in the long run. Press it in with a sponge. I am a sponge girly. I love a sponge. For this look, I don't want a really intense contour. So this is the Makeup by Mario Soft Sculpt Transforming Skin Enhancer All Over Warming Complexion Tint in Light. And I like to take it on an angled brush. And I like to just press that around the cheekbones to give me some really gentle definition without going right in the cheekbones. I also just think that we as a society over contour. We contour with every look and we don't necessarily need to. A little bit around the cheeks, a little bit around the forehead, a little bit along the jaw to balance it out. And you can even take some on your décolletage if you're feeling that way. There's a couple of different products I'm going to use here for blush, but to start as a base, I'm using the Matte Beauty Blush one in Pink Pop, which always confuses me because this is straight peach. And I'm just going to take that on the apples of the cheeks and bring it up ever so slightly. And it was almost like when they were doing the makeup at these shows, they would throw on just a touch of baby pink at the end. So this is the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Cheek Tint in 53. This is a really targeted placement. It's going right here. And when you smile, you want this to be right around the top of the apple. Priming the eyes here with a little bit of P. Louise. So I have a very specific setting ritual for my face. I spray with setting spray and then I go in with powder. I find that when you do it the other way, the spray tends to just reactivate the powder and then you end up with glow in places you didn't intend on it because I put the powder in a certain place for a reason. I like it to stay matte. The people that I've converted onto this technique say that their makeup lasts longer, it looks better. It's a good technique. Trust. Bath Magic Beauty Hydrating Dew Lock Set and Refresh Mist. Be real liberal with it. But do be smart about it. Don't go directly in with setting powder over a wet base. You should never add dry directly over wet. I like to fan myself, give it a moment to settle on the skin. Huda Beauty Loose Setting Powder. Powder puff. Work it into the hand to make sure it's evenly distributed. And press right under the eyes. I specifically powder here if you have genetic tear trails like I do, because it really just flattens them out. It makes them so much less noticeable. I also like to just knock out my smile lines. Look at the difference. Make sure to take a dusting of powder to your brows as well. It will allow your brow products to lay down so much prettier. So you've still got a lot of beautiful luminosity over here and soft radiance up here, but the areas that are matte, they're set and they stay set. Brows for me are kind of inconsequential because I've shaved off the tail. I have to do what I have to do, but I feel the tail end in with a pencil, and then I just press over with a powder to make sure everything's set and there's a little bit of dimension in them. So the huge thing here is going to be the eyes. I'm going to start with a light, warm grey. I'm going to buff that right into the crease and the outer corner with a fluffy brush. The eyeshadow shape here isn't super winged out or sharp, but you can bring it out slightly just to extend the outer perimeter of your eye. Take a deeper taupe, focus it into the outer corner, and once it's diffused there, start to blend the excess up into the crease. I like to go back in and blend back and forth a little bit. I find that's just how you get the most airbrushed, gorgeous eye looks. Mirror that color placement along the lower lash line. Take a Snow White eyeshadow. This can't be bone white, it can't be cream, it really needs to stay cool toned. And you're going to press this onto the lid on the inner corner and dust it right along the arch of the brow. I like to have a little bit of a matte base for any shimmer, but especially when it's a highlight tone like a shimmery white. I just find it gives it really something to work with. Start with a finer white shimmer. I'm working within the Natasha Denona Xenon palette for reference. I'm just going to press that literally anywhere I popped that white eyeshadow. And this new glitter mark from Half Magic is where you're really going to see absolute sparkles. Press this on the ball of the eyelid, and then you're going to go in on the inner corner, and we're going to do it heavy. And then if I feel like I've overdone it anywhere, I'm just going to go in with a spoolie and just shape the shimmer placement. Blend everything again through the crease. For eyeliner, you kind of want soft and smoky, so I'm using just some eyeshadow, shaping out a little bit of a wing, and then go in with a little clean pencil brush and smoke out that liner, soften out that edge. Also with liner on my eyes, because when I relax, the hood goes quite low, I just make sure the baseline is slightly underneath where that hood of skin wants to sit. And my liner looks good every time. Pop on some mascara. We were doing so well. Well, it's a good time to test how easy the Half Magic mascara cleans up. I'm going to allow it several minutes to dry completely on the face, and then we're going to go in with a spoolie and pray. While I wait, I'm just going to pop in some brow gel. I think it might just be fine. These are the Lash Bar 3D Faux Ink Pink Fetty Lashes, and they're my favourite lashes of all time, to the point that I've been gatekeeping them from my audience, but you've all been asking, so here, please don't sell them out. Like, just look at what that lash does for my face. This is the Hourglass Evil Eye Ambient Lighting Palette for the year. I'm going to mix these two shades to set the liquid blush, and you don't have to be intense about it. Just look at that. Also just going in with the bronzer from the palette to tap over anywhere we put that soft sculpt product. And then I'm going to duck into the finishing powder in Soft Light and tap it all over this area to meld everything in together to make it look kind of airbrushed. I just want a pearly perfect highlight, so this is Hourglass once more. And I'm just hitting the high points of the face. I love Hourglass powder products so much because it genuinely feels like you could apply them blind in the dark, ham-fisted, and they would still manage to blend. Lining the lips with Charlotte Tilbury's Super Size Me. And the trick to an evenly lined overline is starting with the same hand movement on both sides. So start from the top. Repeat that motion over here. And I like to go in and just blur out my lip liner with a finger because it doesn't need to be super crisp. Pillow Talk Fair, you'll want something to translate to a baby peachy pink on your flesh tone. That's going to vary wildly depending on your complexion. For me, as someone who's fair-skinned, this tone is perfect. Once you've applied your lipstick, go back in with a little bit more lip liner to perfect the shape, and it'll give you the crispest, prettiest lip shape you've ever had. And would it be this look without a baby pink gloss? I think not. This is the Patrick Ta Major Volume Plumping Gloss. Look at this. And this is the finished look. I find because I've got quite a vintage face, this translates quite pin-up-y on me, but it feels gorgeous. It's really effortless. I think something like this is going to be pretty universally flattering. If you have a much deeper complexion, I would just maybe trade out the baby pink, like lighter lip line for something a little bit deeper. But I hope if you try it, you feel beautiful. I love you all so much, and I'll see you another time. Bye.